What's up, guys? I know it's been a long time. I wanted to give an update because it's been a long time because I've run into some setbacks with the truck. And I've also been doing a lot of block sanding. And as you body people know, the block sanding takes forever and it's not particularly enjoyable to watch on video. So I'll just give you an update on the setbacks and what I've been up to. So like I said, I've been block sanding, got the sides of the beds perfect, got those really nice. Working on the inside of the bed a little bit. You can see there's a blue color there. We'll talk about that here in a second. The roof is sanded flat, and so is this bedside and one of the doors. Again, we'll get to that in a second. I did paint the interior. I started painting the interior, and I painted the inside of the doors. This blue color that I picked out, sprayed out, it looked really good. I ended up spraying it on, well, I'll show you what I sprayed it on. I ended up spraying it out on here and it looked pretty good. It doesn't look necessarily exactly like it looks in the video because you know how colors work with videos and stuff. It looked really good and I liked it. It's somewhat of a play on Marlin Blue, Ford Marlin Blue. And I'll take it out in the sunlight and I'll show you what I ran into. Like once I got it out in the sunlight, it was just way too blue and it almost looked kind of like cheap spray paint. Yeah, this has been wet sanded to a dull because I'm going to be repainting it another color, but it just looked like almost like cheap spray paint, bright blue, and I just wasn't crazy about it once I got it sprayed onto several things. So that was a mistake. I mean, it's an okay blue. It's not exactly Marlin Blue, which I think actually looks better and better in pictures in sunlight, but it was close and I thought it looked all right, but I wasn't over the top excited about it. So I figured let's just strip it back off, wet sand it down, and then get a color I will be really excited about. And when you know, I bought a whole gallon of it. So that was about a $400 mistake, but I'll find something to paint with it. So the color I ended up finding and testing again and buying a quart of it and spraying it out on a bigger area and making sure I liked it in sunlight and low light and everything is a color called Dove Gray. It's a vintage Volkswagen color. And this is what it looks like here. As you can see, it's much classier in my opinion, much more laid back. I wasn't into the shocking kind of blue. Yeah, that's a band name. Like that this was. This is more kind of a laid back, more my style. It's a gray blue. I'll show you some pictures here of Volkswagens that have it. I think it's a really, really neat color in both daylight and low light. I know it's not a Ford color, but I like it. And I think that's all that really matters. The carpet sample works well with it that I have in the Wimbledon white, works great. And it looks good with chrome too. So I'm really stoked on this color. And pardon that sheen right there. This has not been wet sanded, cut and buffed yet. This just has the base coat clear and then clear coat put on top of it. So yeah, that's why the sheen is like that. And this is the difference between the two colors out in sunlight. And yeah, I got this one wet, so that way it was so milky because I'd already wet sanded that down to get ready to get sprayed back over. But you can see it's much more, I don't know, to me that just was too much blue and it just kind of had a cheapish blue look. This is much more of a steel gray blue that I think just will complement the truck so much better. The grille and bumper have been sprayed in Wimbledon white. The fenders are straight and they're sitting there ready for color. Seriously, pardon my mess here, guys. Had a problem with this door, with the driver door, okay? Look at this. Yeah, I'm reskinning it, getting rid of the metal that was on it because I was working on it, like I got it flat and it looked really good with filler and everything, and I was just doing my final blocking, and this was bent in a little bit, so it wasn't blocking out straight. So I went to tap right here a little bit to kind of bring it up, and filler right about over here on the door shell cracked just from me tapping it right there. And I thought, you know what, peace of mind, let's get that off of there, strip that filler off. I mean, it wasn't very thick in the first place, but it did crack. And I'd wondered in the back of my mind, putting filler on a door that opens and shuts and opens and shuts, and this being the driver door that's gonna be getting the most use, had me a little nervous in the first place. So I got the filler off, started working it over, hammer and dolly. I got my stud welder and puller and worked it over as much as I possibly could. Heat and cooled, worked it, and it basically fatigued. It gave up. Somebody had also worked on this door, so between all the work that I did to it and all the work that he did to it, it did eventually tear right in here. And I said, enough of that. It's fatigued, it's old, it's tired, And obviously I'm not a very skilled metal body guy, because I think a skilled one could have saved that. And I figure, let's just go ahead and reskin it. I've epoxied in here and it's getting ready to get reskinned. So that's where we are on that. And the reason why this is so rusty is because I was heating and cooling and using a wet rag and try to cool it down and doing all the little tricks to try to get the metal to do what I wanted it to do. And with this, I'm going to be using a combination of some welding, keeping things very cool, and panel bond. And we're going to be panel bonding all around here. We'll do a video on that, I'm sure. Something about this color blue just reminded me, yeah, I enjoy all the blocking dust. This color blue just reminded me of Tim Allen's hot rod from Home Improvement, that kind of dated 90s street rod kind of look. So just wasn't crazy about it. Not as crazy about it as I thought I was going to be. So that's where I'm at. I promise I haven't been laying around doing nothing. This has actually been taking a lot of work. It's just a lot of tedious, boring work that wouldn't really make for a good video, unless maybe you guys do want to see tedious, boring videos. I don't know. If you find it interesting, maybe I don't mind putting the camera on and doing it. I just wanted to fill you guys in so you know that I didn't give up on the truck. I'm working just as hard as I always have. Just had a few setbacks, and we're gonna get those taken care of. And I am already so stoked on this new color. So guys, that's it for now. Just a quick update. Thanks so much for the reaching out and asking if I'm okay. Everybody's good. I still need a haircut. I'm getting there eventually. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.